Hey guys, it's Eric.
I'm John.
Tim.
We are D&D Miniature and Board Games. Hey, so we got done playing Exit the Game, The Abandoned Cabin by KOSMOS Games. And, you know, I'm going to say right off the bat, I was surprised. I didn't really think I would like an exit game, and I know that kind of spoils my scores. I really didn't think I would like an exit game, but I actually really enjoyed playing this. There was a lot of challenging, the puzzles and riddles. I mean, we scored idiot level when we played, so...
What do you expect from us, right?
Well, that's my pay.
Hey, I will say this, though. We didn't get a whole bunch of rules wrong.
Because there aren't a bunch of rules.
You're right.
Hey, for those of you who are unfamiliar, we do score on graphics and artwork, rulebook, components, replayability, and fun. Now, normally replayability as in the game, but if you aren't familiar with the exit games, it's a one-shot deal. I mean, literally, we have cards and pages torn into pieces here. But it's a series of games, so there are several of these.
There's more to be had.
Right. So we actually went with replayability of the Exit the Game
Series.
Tim, graphics and artwork is your puppy.
I think for this style game, the graphics and artwork were quality. I definitely think they met my expectations. To see the size and know that we're not getting a board, we're not getting, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, but you get a buttload of cards. I think the graphics and artwork fit it, so I gave it a 4.
John?
I also gave the graphics and artwork a 4. Like Tim was saying, as far as served its purpose, it did, but it was also, as far as the cards go, they were easily legible in what needed to be done. We saw this a whole lot as we played through, which is a big...
It was easy.
Big X.
Big X! So you knew when you messed up, and we did a good job of doing that to get through. So, with that, you were able to see what details needed to do, and you didn't have to zoom in and hold it close. So, I'm going to stick with my 4 there. I liked it.
As was already said, I have to look at this as the size of the game. This is relatively goes for retail between 10 and 15, sometimes 20, depending on where you're buying it. It's a one-hit wonder. Once it's done, it's over. But for that style game, I was actually impressed. I was impressed with the graphics. I was impressed with the fact that you built the board as the game went. I even like that where we found the one page. It was when they told us where to find the one page. I like that.
Not that there's a part in the game where you find a page, so don't think that.
But I gave it a 4 as well. I was actually quite impressed with the graphics and artwork compared to the size of the game. Rulebook?
Go ahead, you're doing a great job.
I gave Rulebook a 4. I thought it was well done. Considering on our playthrough, we actually read the rulebook, so the first 10 minutes of our playthrough is reading the rulebook, and we only really looked back to it one time to really figure out how to use the answer cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's actually too bad. I think that's actually pretty good. It's not a lot to it, and on the back there's a certificate where you keep track of who's done what. We didn't do that. We just were having a good time playing the thing. John?
Rulebook, I also gave it a 4. Exactly what Eric said, in the sense we went right through it together, opened it up, didn't know what was going on, and that's part of the nice thing for a rulebook, is if you can open it up and you real quick can get through what's happening, and it leaves it just so that the mechanics of the game follow through. So the mechanics basically were your rule book. Is once you figured out the one little part, it just flowed easily. So that's why I stuck with a 4, and yeah, nice and easy. I liked it. Go ahead,
Tim.
I'm the rule book jerk. I think it was a rule book. They did what the rule book's supposed to do. They didn't go above and beyond. They didn't leave you short. So I gave it a 3.
What do you think about components?
There were a lot. They were malleable. They looked like they're recyclable, which is a good thing.
Since you tear them up.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I thought the components added a very wicked twist to how a game is played, to what we're traditionally used to. So I gave the components a 4. I think maybe a few things could have been done differently or better to make it a little better. And at this point, it's not really graphics and artwork, but some of these smaller cards with all the doodads and drawings and stuff on it. It's small. It's kind of hard to see. I think that kind of hurt my score on components because I didn't look at that as graphics artwork. So the graphics and artwork are good, but when it comes to the component of it and having to use it in the game, it was a little difficult. Like, we couldn't find the Fertilance anywhere until John sat there and he goes, "Wait, it's all around this picture here." so I gave it a 4. I thought it was solid though.
John?
I'm searching for the Fertilance. Oh.
Just use your glasses.
Oh, yeah. Nah, components, I gave it a 4. And I know as we're talking about it, we're also trying to not spoil anything.
It's very hard with this game.
It's really hard. So we're definitely trying not to. So as we're going through, that's why some of our stuff, if it seems slightly vague, if you're thinking, we're really not trying to be vague. We just don't want to give any juicy details out. But component-wise, I was actually a little bit surprised knowing that it's a one-time play at even the thickness of a couple of the card stock. I was thinking it may just be even thinner than what it is, but thinner. Yeah. So with that, the component wise going through it seemed to me that I don't know, I actually was just a little bit surprised. The whole thing worked well. We didn't have issues with any of the items. It was great to rip up, and that it was very easy, so you could work on your fine motor skills and your dexterity.
I tried to be nice and fold stuff, but these guys just animals.
So what'd you give it?
4.
Okay.
Animals.
Components, I gave a 4 as well. I felt for the small size game, the small price point, the one shot, or I'm going to start calling it the one hit wonder. I thought the components were very well made, well done, easy to read, easy to see, and I think that, like you said, with some of the stuff looks kind of small, but that's part of the riddles and the clues, in my opinion. But I gave it a 4. I will state I will never start one of these games without a pair of scissors again. Have scissors. You're going to need them. And don't worry about tearing the stuff up in this, because that's the whole thing is, I mean, our mission, our memory log, whatever.
Yeah, don't try and test play
20 pages.
Game. Yeah, don't try and test play this game waiting for the party this weekend. No, just so you can learn it and show your friend. No,
just jump in and go.
If you're going to do that, buy 2.
I'm going to go into replayability. As we said at the start, it's a one hit wonder, but we kind of had to figure out how to finesse our replayability scoring or just drop it all together. But we think we figured it out. Instead of replayability of just the one game, it's replayability of the series. And I think this series, I think the series has a high replayability. I gave it a 5 because if they came up with this many riddles and such for this game, and I've seen some of the stuff for some of the other games, this has a high replayability. I mean, we played this for almost 2 hours.
Not almost. 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah, because we're stupid. But, well, small people. But, I gave it a 5.
I like how he says we a lot.
Don't bring me into this. I'll go next for replayability. Replayability, I actually gave a 4. I wasn't sure how much I would be, exit game, because I really haven't done much of that. But I've done a few. I really want to just go right into the next one and play it. So while saying that, it may sound funny that, well, why is John not saying a 5 then, if he just wants to go right in there? Because I do think that some of that, as you're going into this, you need to think about also your group that you're playing with. With me, I'd be good to jump in and go right into the next one because I am. But in thinking about all the groups and as you're playing stuff, as you're thinking about playing stuff, there may be, if you try to do this with, you don't listen to the age level, or because this was a middle level. Between novice to expert, you really need to pay attention to that and who your group is going to be, so that we're already looking like idiots.
This was novice. Not novice.
I'm trying to give us the benefit of the doubt. Yes, this was a novice level. So that's why, for me, I'd still say, yeah, you're going to want to play, but you've got to watch to make sure you do it right. Because if you end up, you may get someone that just you don't get anywhere, and it just ends up.
You got to consider your group.
Exactly. So with that, you're going to have to see. But I think you're going to want to play it. It's fun. Sorry, it's replayable.
We haven't got the fun yet.
No, we haven't got the fun yet. I gave it a 4 too. It's definitely something you want to keep going in, especially after you get your feet wet with the way that the riddles are done. You kind of see the, I don't know if you call them, are they authors at that point of the riddles?
Well, the creators.
The
designers, the architects, the godfathers.
The taskmasters.
Or whatever those words were you were trying to figure out what they meant while we were playing.
Yammered.
The
yammered ones.
But after you play the riddles, you see how it goes. It's like John said, you just want to keep trying, and I think it's a solid 4 for that.
Well, I have to get up in like 3 hours. I could just stay up. We could play the next one. I think John's already grounded anyways.
Oh, I gotta go to work in the morning now.
Tim, what'd you have for fun, bud?
I actually gave... Ooh, I screwed that up. Huh? What are we doing now?
Fun.
Okay, well, let me backtrack to replayability. My replayability is actually 5. I got them turned around.
Flip-flopped?
Yeah, because I wrote them down wrong. So replayability is 5.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Was a 4.
That I have as a 4. And the same reason that my replayability was 5 is the same reason that my fun's 4, because those riddles are fracking difficult.
That was a riddle for you.
Fracking?
Well, Frack is from Battlestar Galactica.
No, I was saying the 4 to the 5 to the 5 to the 4.
Yeah.
That was his exit game strategy.
That could be a code in the game. You never know.
John?
Orange, blue, red.
Shut up, John.
Fun. I gave fun a 5. I did have fun. I mean, there's times when you get in there, you might your head scratching, trying to think. So you may just be sitting perplexed.
And you're trying to stop somebody from pulling clue cards.
Yes, but it was really fun because
give us a chance.
Because when you get done, when you already want to jump into what's next? Let's do the next one. Let's go. To me, hey, if I had that much fun, I want to go right in there. That I can give it a 5.
So, like I said to start, when we decided to play Exit the Game, I was kind of like, escape room style, riddles, come on, really? This doesn't, to me, it didn't sound like it would be fun. Not my, it's just not my thing. And once we started playing it, I was all in. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. I gave this a solid 5. I'm like John. If we could, we would be playing the Secret Lab tonight. We can't. We'd like to, though. But yeah, I gave it a solid 5. I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed the camaraderie we had while we were playing, of trying to figure out these riddles together. And I think that the way we set up, I learned something. We can't set this way up to play another one like this again. This is one you gotta almost be like at almost a round table. You've got to be sitting kind of around so everybody can see everything easily. So if you're sitting next to each other, like we kind of did for filming purposes, it's not conducive.
Conducive, that's a good word.
But anyways, overall score, guys, for Exit the Game, especially the Abandoned Cabin, we gave it a 4.2. 4.2, guys. Outstanding game. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to jump into the next one. As always, guys, support your local game, and we support
Discover Games, Fayetteville, Georgia.
And we'd also like to thank KOSMOS for letting us have some fun and escape the abandoned cabin.
As always, guys, game on.
Game on.
Game on.